Good morning and welcome to another video, Jai G Reacts. Now, this is hilarious. I'm gonna tell you where to get the video at, but I'm reacting to 6ix9ine was on Clubhouse, Academics was on Clubhouse, Wack 100 was on Clubhouse, 21 Savage was on Clubhouse, and they was all going in. And 6ix9ine was responding to some fans and talking back with some fans. And I already knew this. Jim Jones, who was the leader or is one of the people that runs the 9 Trays, was he was on wiretap telling them to get rid of Tekashi's security, super violate him, basically called for a hit on this man, and yet he is still walking around free. Tekashi said something about that. He says that says something about that. He's basically alludes to Jim Jones being an informant or a cop. He alludes to that because he says it. He says, how come this man was able to call a hit out on me and yet he's still walking around free? Doesn't make any sense. This stuff is all WWE. It's all WWE. It's not real. So don't take it for reality. It's fake. A lot of these people that are rappers be really informants. They don't do any of the things they really say they're doing. You know, they're just influencing the youth to do this stuff. So eventually, I'm going to put the link for the page Drill 420 is where I got the video from. It's a full video of everything I'm talking about. And I'm going to leave a link for their video in the description. And then basically Wack and 21 get into it. And they get into it because 21 wants to know, why are you sitting down with a snitch, this and that and all that. And then Wack just gets fed up with it, and he just basically takes out all his frustrations, yo. He just calls 21 a bitch. He's like, yo, you're a bitch. You're a rapper. Yo, you ain't about none of that. He's like, man, when I met you in real life, you was real humble. If I was talking to you right now, you would not have that energy. And 21 does like to talk a lot of shit on Clubhouse. So I don't think 21 like that, man. Come on, man. You ain't about to, Wack would knock you the fuck out, bro. Like, but yeah, 21 got pressed, yo. That shit was funny as hell. He should have just stayed out of it. He should have just kept his opinion to himself. Because at the end of the day, Wack getting tired of getting pressed. That's all it is. Wack going to keep getting pressed by all these rappers, entertainers, that are going to act in the media that they're so hood that they couldn't sit down with 6ix9ine. At the end of the day, all y'all sit down and work with snitches and whatever. Y'all all get y'all money in the industry, man. You don't care how you get your money. So let's stop fronting like, 6ix9ine. Y'all just say his names for views and clout, yo. Let's just be real. At the end of the day. Because he's controversial. But real talk, a lot of these dudes that disrespect him and talk all this shit, they're not about none of this shit they're talking about. They're really not. They talk about, Wack 100 is breaking that down. He's like, dog, y'all ain't never sit in front of no grand jury before or had no murder charge or any of this, talking about you wouldn't tell this and that. You ain't never even been in that scenario. And 6ix9ine basically breaks down that dudes was disloyal to him, so he was disloyal. In the code of the streets, you still supposed to stick it through all the way to the end, but the code of the streets is stupidity. And that's what 6ix9ine said. He's like, this code of the streets is stupidity, so he beat the streets, and niggas is mad. At the end of the day, I never grew up in the streets like where I perpetuate a street lifestyle. So for me, I would never do a bid for nobody else. I would never go to jail for nobody else and do any of that shit. But also, I'm gonna stay out of, I would never have did what 6ix9ine did though. I would have never jumped into a gang and portrayed myself like I'm something that I'm not. And that's where the dual sword comes in, where it's like you portrayed yourself like something that you were not. You kind of got to go down with the ship because you was doing all that stuff with them. Doesn't matter if they were disloyal or not. You was doing all that stuff with them. You should go down with them. In reality, there should be no such thing as you get to tell on people and you get absolved of all your crimes. There really should be none of that. If you did crimes with them, you might get a little bit less time, but you really shouldn't even, you should go down. You shouldn't be no, oh, you get to tell and you get to walk skate free. Nah, man, nah, nigga. Like, you did the time, you did the crime with them, you should do the time. Period. You know? It shouldn't be no, oh, I get to tell, so I get to walk away scotch-free. It really shouldn't be none of that, but, you know, it's a complicated issue with the 6ix9ine thing. You know, I can see it from his side on why he told, but then on another on the side of the coin, it's like you supposed to go down with the ship because you tried to act like you was in the gang and you was a gangster and you took all the benefits of being in that. You got to call hits on people. You got to basically bitch all the other rappers that didn't have all those real street dudes behind them. But ultimately, you ended up going to jail, which is what all real dudes that are really doing that end up doing. All these other rappers that don't go to jail all the time, they don't really do any of the raps they're talking about. He was really doing this stuff, but at the end of the day, also, you gotta look at it like this. He had all these goons behind him, so he felt propelled to do it. So should he go down with the ship? It's debatable. You leave it in the comment sections. In my mind, if you join a gang and you do all that stuff, you should go down with the ship. But in his mind, he shouldn't. He gonna weasel your way out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna justify it any way you want to justify it. But at the end of the day, you know, it's up to y'all. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. This is the video. If y'all want to watch the full Clubhouse, it's in the description. Drill 420. It's hilarious.